going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Welcome to another edition of Dangle Bet Celly, powered by FTN. Meaney and Eric Young here with you. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We got a busy NHL slate to break down. All those hanging out live on our FTN YouTube page, welcome in. We really do appreciate you. Smash the like button. You got any comments, any questions, please leave them here. EY still overseas. What's going on, man? Saw you're up
good
late.
Day. Cold here. I was up. I just talking about all those games. I got so excited I couldn't sleep, so I just stayed awake. I watched Preds in Ottawa, and I watched as much of Calgary and Avalanche as much as I could. I couldn't get through it all, but I'm glad I stayed up, man. There were some really good games. We had a pretty good day, goal scorers and what we thought teams were going to win. I was right. You were wrong on the Toronto thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring that up.
I'm glad you did. No, we hold ourselves accountable on this show. And I'm not going to lie. The Leafs look really, really strong in that game. They look really good.
Yeah.
They went into Boston to beat a team that was playing like their best hockey of the season. Yeah. Yep. On home ice. I thought they bullied them. I thought like they really did bully them. What did you think? Did you see the Taylor Hall kind of quote unquote sucker punch? Did you think there was anything there? I mean, he got fined, right? I mean, there's no consistency again.
I mean, this is nothing new. It's no consistency. He sucker punches him from behind. I mean, any other time that's happened, it's been a suspension. $5,000 to Taylor Hall he doesn't give a shit. $5,000 is like a quarter to him. Like what? He doesn't care. He doesn't care about $5,000. He's a multi-millionaire. $5,000 is nothing. Nothing. It's gone. And he'll be back on the ice next time.
I don't think George Paris cares about the Leafs at all. I would have to look into a little bit, and I know Leafs Nation is a little crazy on social media, but they do make some good points. They do make some good points about some of their players maybe not getting suspended not them personally, but maybe like a guy like Taylor Hall or things that I've seen in the past. There's just no consistency at all. Yeah, the Matthews thing, first-time offender.
Look, he gets cross-checked head first into the net. If you've ever played hockey and someone did that to you, you're going to be mad too. He gets up. Yes, he cross-checks him and it rides up and hits him in the neck. That's two guys battling, but they're looking at each other and they're engaging with each other. Lebinsky, or however you say his name, he wasn't even facing Taylor Hall. I know the hit might have been questionable, and I get Taylor Hall being upset that happens, but you can't sucker punch a guy from behind like that. He should be suspended, and $5,000 is an absolute fucking joke.
Well, this is what I wanted to bring up when Tino said Will Smith slap Taylor Hall sucker punch. What do you think was more vicious?
I mean, well, the Taylor Hall thing happened in real time and was an actual attack. The Will Smith and Chris Rock thing, if you believe that that's real, I've got some property on the moon to sell you. It's Hollywood, guys. There's nothing real about it. Watch it in slow motion. Chris Rock watches him walk the whole way. He flinches, tucks his head, and presents his chin to him. Look, I do this every week in wrestling. It's called feeding, and it's exactly what Chris Rock did. Will Smith is a big dude. If he wanted to knock Chris Rock unconscious, he could have done it. Chris Rock doesn't try to block it. He doesn't try to move backwards. He doesn't do anything. He waits for him to hit him. It's a complete work. Just so happens that Chris Rock has got a big comedy tour coming up. He was irrelevant. I love Chris Rock as a comedian, but he's irrelevant. He hasn't been relevant since his last comedy special, and now he's going on another tour. Big announcement a couple days before the Oscars. Oh, now he's going on this tour. Then this happens. He's one of the most talked about people in the United States. Like I said, if you believe it's real, I got some property on the moon I want to sell you. Just PayPal me the cash. I'll send you the deed.
Damn.
Complete bogus. It's fake.
I kind of thought it was real. At first, I didn't think it was real. And then the reason I thought it was real, honestly, was not.
There's no security guards. There's nobody there that's going to stop them. If they were really mad at him, like now the Oscars is like, oh, we're doing this and we're doing that. If they were really mad at him, will they let him go on stage and accept that award later? Would they have let him stay in the building? That's assault,
think so.
Man.
Yes, but I think that they're that messed up that they would let him. I mean, we could go off track here about people who have won awards that shouldn't have won awards.
You'll never convince me that it was real. It's fake.
Yeah, and I'm not here to try to convince you that it's real. The reason I thought that maybe it was because when I saw the smack, I said, nah, that's not real. Like, I'd have to slow that down and actually watch the smack. Like, why did he smack him? Maybe if he punched him, then maybe Chris Rock is really feeling the effects and potentially suing him. I mean, maybe may have knocked him out if he hit a Will Smith sucker punch. Could potentially have just knocked out Chris Rock. But the reason I thought that it was afterwards was not the emotion in Will Smith's voice, like get your my wife's name out of your mouth. Not that so much, was the fact that Rock just seemed so flustered after. Like, he just seemed so shook. Like, it looked like he wanted to attack him right away with another joke, like, I could, and then he stopped, and then he looked over to the side. Are we still doing this? And maybe that's part of the whole act, but he just couldn't speak, dude. He's like, we're here to present a doc, an award for a doc. Like, he just seemed so shook to me that I was like, you know what, maybe this is a little real, but anyways, I do appreciate
not everyone would know and not everyone would be involved, but Chris Rock knew, Will Smith knew, other people, the people that are consoling Will Smith, they're all in on it. I don't care what you say. I know it sounds conspiracy and like, oh, that's the wrestler that thinks everything's fake. I'm telling you, 100% fake. I had a fishing show on Animal Planet. I don't know anything about fishing. I don't own a fishing rod. Everything you watch on TV, except for sports and professional wrestling, is bogus. It's fake. All of it is staged. It's all about money. And that's because Chris Rock has got a tour. Will Smith has a bunch of movies coming out. He's winning this award. It's the only thing people are talking about.
I know it really is. It really is the only thing that people are talking about, and it's going to continue. And here we are, 6 minutes in talking about it. It is brilliant. If that certainly is the case, and I know a lot of people will certainly be watching Chris Rock's comedy tour, even if they're not a fan of his. They're going to check 100%. In just to see, right?
100%. Yep.
And I'm sure you've seen. Yeah.
What is he going to say about Will Smith? Look, I did this for Impact Wrestling. It's probably 10 or 12 years ago. Danny Bonaducci from the Partridge Family, just coming off the huge success of his reality show. He hosted a morning drive show in Philadelphia. They flew me in to do the radio show to promote our pay-per-view lockdown that we were doing in Philadelphia. The whole plan, the whole time, is me and him are going to wrestle at the pay-per-view. Me and him are the only two, and the guy that I'm with, Jeremy Borash, are the only three people in the room. There's a room of 12 people. This huge, super successful morning radio show. And we know that he's going to get into me. I'm going to start yelling at him. He's going to stand up and I'm going to slap him. And he's a crazy person. He said, just hit me as hard as you want. And I said, okay. And we were the only ones that knew. And it's the hardest I've ever hit a human being in my life. I knocked him unconscious with a slap, an open hand slap. It can happen if you're trying to hit them hard, which I was. I wasn't going to make him look like a dummy with Danny Bonaducci. He's a midget. So, I mean, I hit them, and not a single person, this is their meal ticket. Everything that they have in life is because Danny Bonaducci is there and on the radio. None of them moved. None of them said anything. None of them escorted me out. None of them stood up to check on him. They all just sat there, stunned. And we were the only ones that knew, and it was amazing. It's exactly what happened. I'm tired of it.
It does have a bit of a wrestling feel to it. I mean, you have the music dubbed over, and I've heard the wrestling, commentators after as well. I'm sure you've seen that as well. So we'll move on from this, but this was the rant that I needed here off the top of Dangle Bet Celly from EY to get a little perspective on that. So
for real, I'll send out my PayPal. I lost probably about $85 sending $5 to people that bet on Ryan Johansson to score, and I did. Anyone that sent me messages, I sent them money. So I need to recoup some funds. So if you want to buy some property on the moon and you think that the Will Smith slap thing is real in real life, I got some property for you. I'll send you the handwritten deed once you send me the money.
I actually had a couple DMs as well. I still need to send some money on your behalf. I will take care of that for you. I can't have you dishing out all the bucks because people were.
Oh no, I made my bed.
Johansson.
I made my bed.
We're good. We're good there. I think it was a fun promo, and a lot of people had fun with that. So
I can't wait to see Ryan Johansson next time and tell him he cost me money.
You make sure you tell him that. Yeah, absolutely.
I will.
Yeah, right. You have the most goals ever as a Predator in your career, but dude, you owe me a few bucks because we had an anytime goal and you didn't get it done for us. We do want to give some love to some people in the house. Adam Rankamp here. Let's go, boys. Troy is in the house. Patrick Laine will hit his shot on goal prop. He will be in attendance tonight, Troy. Nice. Absolutely love that. We got Addie Slim in the house. We got Mike Convery. Morning, boys. My last Dangle bet, Celly, as an unmarried man. Oh, my goodness. Congrats. Enjoy tonight, dude. Enjoy tonight and today. This show, hopefully we can get you some winners. We do have John Francis in the house. He says Nelson point, Kadri point, Nature's point, and I will be hammering the Hawks Panthers over. I believe that's at 7 already. That's a high total. So we do appreciate you guys that are in the house here hanging out with us on the show. We got Peter, let's get it, gentlemen. Diehard MMA podcast. Morning, everybody. Go Yotes. Nate Olson's in the house. We have Kaprizov breaks the Minnesota Wild record, season point record at home tonight. Looking for all the Kaprizov props today. We got our guy Jason Prince in the house. DBC is back. Meaney and Eric Young, the dynamic duo. Looking forward to the leans today and the games tomorrow. Let's get it. And George, of course, in the house. Let's get after this. So a lot of games here to get to as per usual on a Thursday, 9 of them. Let's start with the Boston Bruins and the New Jersey Devils. Again, always talking about the free prop shop and parlay calculator over at ftnbets.com. It saves you a lot of time. You don't got to go surfing around to all the books. You just you treat it as basically a Google search. You type in whoever you want to type in the prop shop, and you will see all the best possible odds. The Bruins are heavy favorites here at home. After getting their butts waxed by the Maple Leafs. It was like, I think, a 6-4 final. I was kind of wrong about that, too. I was leaning towards the under. That was not the play, and it's never the play, I don't think, when the Leafs are really on the schedule, and they are on the schedule. We'll get to them in a little bit. But Boston here, heavy home favorites. Again, that was 6-4, a lot closer. If you look at the box score, the game wasn't really all that close. The Leafs had their way. The Devils can score some goals. I think Boston bounces back here. I think we probably see some offense here, EY. We're not going to see Swayman between the pipes. They're going to go to Allmark. Swayman's been really good, but they're going to go to Allmark after he got shelled. 6.5 is the total here. And if you do want to back the Devils, seeing the best possible odds at plus 205 over at DraftKings. 245 is the best I am seeing at Unibet for the Bruins. What do you make of this matchup? I think we'll see some goals, man. I think Jersey can get 2 or 3 themselves.
Yeah, I think we'll see some goals too. I think Boston wins this game. Like you said, they're going to be motivated after the thumping they took. I'm sure Cassidy was ripping them pretty bad. They need these wins. I mean, the Maple Leafs need them too, but they need these wins. New Jersey is definitely a team on the rise. They're much improved. Hughes has taken a huge step forward. Jesper Bratt has become a legitimate player. Sharon Govich. Obviously like Dougie Hamilton, Damon Severson. There's a few guys on defense, like kind of unheralded guys that are really good in fantasy and really good at DFS. But yeah, I think Boston wins this game, and I'm going to put. I'm not going to put anything because I can't bet because I'm in the UK. But if I was, I would put Hughes to score here tonight. He's plus 185, and I got the pad, guys. They don't know. I couldn't find the yellow one. There's not a lot of choice here. I'm only near one store, and it's an interesting store. That was the paper that they had. That was the paper they had. And now I have a mini journal that I'll leave here probably with all these weird scratchings and numbers. But I'm ready to go.
I like the Hughes call too. I've had him in the FTN bet tracker in each of the last 2 games against Washington and against Montreal, and those were really good odds. They were both over 2-1. So I'm surprised. Yeah, I thought you could get better odds than that. I don't know what you said, but plus 240 I'm seeing for Jack. Oh, that's Jesper Bratt. So Jack Hughes is, what did you say here? Let me shop around.
Plus 185 on DraftKings.
I will say again, FanDuel guys usually has the best, in my opinion, following these goal props. They usually have the best odds. So shop over at FanDuel and away you go. But yeah, I like Jack Hughes as well. I do like his shot prop. The Bruins are stingy. We talked about this the last time they played the Leafs, although the Leafs kind of had their way with them. But over the last 5 weeks of the season, the 6th fewest shot attempts allowed at 5-5 per 60 shots on goal. Only the Florida Panthers have allowed fewer shots than the Boston Bruins at 5-5 per 60, according to Natural Stat Trick over the last 5 weeks of the season too. But Jack Hughes is, man, he's really, really impressive. I know a lot of people, myself included, I was a little, that 8x8 contract, I don't know. And just like clearly, I feel like he's underpaid for what he's been doing this year is pretty remarkable. And he's shooting the puck, 7 shots in his last game. He's had at least 4 in 3 of his past 4 games. He's been stuck on that 3 number in every game since March 8th. 5 or 6, 5, 6, 5. Couple threes, 4, 5, 3, and 7. So he's been right there. I like the 3.5, and I like Jesper Bratt at 2.5 as well. The Bruins guys are going to be juiced up, but if you're calling a goal from the Boston side of things, I know Pasternak seems pretty easy, but
I mean it's always Pasternak for me. But I mean there's the payout, right? Like it's always negative odds for him to score. DeBrusque was interesting there for a few weeks. I mean Taylor Hall. I mean he the narrative of him coming out and kind of having a fire. He lost all $5,000. He's going to be very upset. I would bet for me. I would bet Hughes, and I would leave it at that.
You know what?
Not that Boston's not going to score. Just yeah,
they're scoring. That's the thing. Yeah. Like we both think we're going to see some goals. 6.5. Devils are probably going to do their part to get to that over. I agree with George. It's always past this season. It's tough to take him as a single, but if you're parlaying some of these goal props, 3 or 4. I mean, we did it last night with Leon Draisaitl. He was negative money everywhere, but FanDuel he was plus money. So keep an eye over at FanDuel. You might be able to get something from Pasta here. The Bruins to win in 60. I don't mind putting that maybe into a parlay at minus 165. I think that one's okay, but I do like the over here. And from a shot prop standpoint, just looking at DK, Brad Marchand is juiced up to minus 182 and a half, but I do believe he's going to get the 3 shots. Maybe you can put him into a parlay. Same sort of deal with Pasternak, 3.5 minus 150. I think that's okay. One thing I wanted to take a look at here before we move on from this game is Evan is in the house. I did not see the Keller injury. Was that bad last night? Yikes.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Yeah, bad. His season's over. He sent out a tweet today saying that he's okay. He's in the hospital, comfortable, resting, but his season's over. But he said he'll be ready day 1 next season. So I would think it's a broken leg or dislocated hip or something like that. It looked pretty bad. Yeah, it looked pretty bad. He was stretchered off. So having a great season too.
I didn't see any highlights last night. I just didn't watch that game. I'll be honest with you. I just didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either, but I watched the highlights this morning.
Yeah, the Oilers game was entertaining. I watched that one. I went to a shootout, and then I
watched that at the gym today. It was really good.
It was really good, yeah. I mean, Edmonton and overs, man. They really do play in a lot of overs. And then last night I had Vegas in 60 and just wanted to make sure they didn't blow that one. Golden Knights are still hanging around. They can't afford too many more losses. But one thing I wanted to say before we move on from this game, I had Bergeron in the bet tracker in the Bruins game against the Leafs at plus 150 for an assist. I'm seeing plus 135 for an Apple today. I think that's pretty good, right? He's back in the lineup. Bergeron is a solid playmaker. So I do believe that the Bruins probably score 4 here today. I think they could push to 5 or something like that. So I'll call a goal. I think we'll get it from Marchand and just in on that Bergeron assist, right? But I do believe Pasta is always a pretty good play. The Bruins are strong at home, guys. They're 20-11-2. And the Devils score themselves some goals. They hang around in games. They're not really getting the goaltending. So I think the 6.5, I think, is a strong play. Over to the Leafs. The Leafs are at home here tonight against the Jets. The Jets played last night without your guy, Kyle Connor. And oh my goodness, man, this is fantasy hockey playoff time. I have Kyle Connor in 5 leagues. He's not going to play tonight. He's not going to play this weekend. I can only hope that he's playing next week. And the Jets, realistically, they can only hope that he is back in the lineup because they're going to need this guy as they make a playoff push. And hopefully Connor is okay and he's not really dealing with COVID because I'll tell you what, that's not fun. The Leafs, as you see, minus 205. Things have changed drastically here. Minus 230 over at DraftKings. If you want to back the Jets, you can get them at plus 200 in some spots. BetMGM and FanDuel has them at plus 188, but plus 200 over at PointsBet. And the total here, of course, as it's a Leafs game, is 6.5. I don't know if the Jets will go back-to-back here with Connor Hellebuck or if they go Comrie in net. Shalgren's clearly going to be the goalie for Toronto as Peter Mrazek's going to miss some time with a.
I was seeing Comrie on left wing block. So
Okay.
That's what I saw. I mean, it wasn't confirmed, but it was projected.
That's probably what I mean. It's the second half of the back-to-back. It makes a lot of sense. I don't think you can get 6 anywhere else. You'll have to do like an alternate total if you want to do that, but it's 6.5 and it's pretty juiced up in most spots. 6.5 minus 120 on DraftKings is the best I'm seeing. FanDuel has a minus 128. I think the Leafs probably roll here. I'm actually willing to take them on the puck line. Just the second half of the back-to-back, I just think it's a tough spot for Winnipeg.
Yeah, really tough spot. But like, Toronto looked really good. I know they've been kind of inconsistent the last couple of weeks, but they need to get rolling again, and going into the playoffs, they want to be in a much better spot mentally, and with confidence and whatnot. And with Comrie playing, no Kyle Connor, it sucks because I can't bet on him like I've done every time we've done the show and he's played. I would bet on him to score. He might still score. He doesn't even. There's still a chance. There's still a chance. But yeah, I would Maple Leafs to win here. I would probably put a little bit on Marner to score. He's at plus 150, and Mikheyev is plus 300. He's still playing on that second line. He's got some real jump in his step. You were saying the other day he's shooting the puck a lot. I don't think he has like an elite shot or an elite release or anything, but it's volume, right? Like he's in the right place. He's a tireless worker. He's a really fast and good skater, and playing with Tavares up on that second line. I like that. And plus 300 is excellent odds.
Yeah, those are pretty good odds. I like the Leafs in 60 call from Evan. I got that down here on the pad as well. Leafs in 60 at minus 160. I think you could maybe just do, if you did Boston and Toronto, I mean, obviously we're going to get to some other games, but if you just did Boston and Toronto, both of these teams to win in 60, that's plus 160. It's not awful. Maybe you can put a third one in there. Yeah, man, Mikheyev, I wish I picked him to score when I talked him up the other night. I just picked him for him 3 shots, and the guy didn't get 3 shots, but he was on such a run. I think it was 10 of 12. He had at least 3 shots. I might go back to him today. Yeah, you got him maybe to potentially score here. I mean, There's a promotion for him for ice time, so we got that going for us. He's playing a little bit more. I mean, first goal is 20-1. I maybe put a 0.25 unit on that, but for him to find the back of the net, I think I'm not seeing any shot prop odds for him yet, but I noticed DraftKings has been showing him. Bet365 has been showing him at 2.5 shots as well. Pierre-Luc Dubois, George's guy, Pierre-Luc Dubois. I really liked PLD, Dubois season drink up. I really liked PLD yesterday when Connor was ruled out, because I just felt like then he would have more focus on shooting the puck, because Connor is definitely a trigger man on that line. But Pierre-Luc Dubois to shoot the puck, 3 shots, minus 135. I don't hate it. I like Marner too. I just want to, before we move on from this one, I mentioned Bergeron assists. I think, Matthews has been plus money for an assist as well. We all know that he's a trigger man, he's a goal scorer, but he could certainly fall into an assist tonight. He's even money for an assist. So books are kind of catching on with Matthews. For a long time, guys like Draisaitl, Matthews, Connor, just pure snipers were plus money for an assist. I don't think there was a little bit of value there. I don't hate it. Minus, even money basically for an Apple. All right. You got a goal scorer from this one? You said Mikheyev?
Yeah, Marner and Mikheyev if I was going to bet on him.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Marner. I like Marner too. All right, we're both in on the Leafs here tonight. Leafs get it done. Chicago and Florida. Panthers are heavy home favorites here. Minus 370 over at DK. Minus 357 over at Caesars. Chicago checks in at plus 285. The total is at 7. I mean, you can get 7 plus 100 over at DraftKings. I'm never going to sit here and tell people to bet the over at 7, but I mean, I don't hate it. Well, we talked about Chicago on Tuesday. They got no goaltending. They're blowing leads left, right, and center. They're good enough to score 2 or 3 goals. The Habs went into Florida the other day and scored 4 goals, and they got nothing from the top line with Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. 7's a lot to ask for, but if we're following trends all year, what do we know about the Panthers at home? They win, and they played the over at home. Again, 7 is tough, but I definitely like the Panthers to win this game by a couple goals here tonight, EY.
Yeah, me too. If I would say, if I was going to pick any over, that would be the one. Even though it's 7s. I mean, it's high, man. It's high. But Chicago can still score, right? They still have Kane, they still have DeBrincat, they still have players that can score, and they know they have to play a high tempo team because they have no defense and no goaltending, so they've got to push the pace and they've got to try to score goals. If they're going to even have a chance to win, which they don't. Florida's going to run away with this one, but I like. Huberdeau's at plus 180 to score. He's due. He hasn't scored in a bit, but he's, I think one of, if not one of the most important players for them. Maybe, top 3 left wingers in the whole league. He's awesome, really fun to watch. And I would still put a little bit of cash on Giroux as well. He's still, playing important minutes and playing with Barkov plus 140. Giroux could score at any time.
Yeah, I bet Giroux 3 nights in a row. He's kind of bothering me, but I just know the night that I don't bet him, he's going to score. Yeah, plus 140 over my DraftKings. I mean, he's been plus 240 the past couple of days. That's why I've been all over that. It does feel like he's pressing a little bit to try to score. It does seem like the guys are trying to get him a goal. We could see it tonight. I don't hate the call. I want to go back to it just because, like I said, I mean, he'll score the minute he doesn't, that I don't bet him. I just know that that's going to happen. I know that's not a thing, guys. It seems silly to even say. But I like his 2.5 shots. He's been shooting. He cleared that the other night. He's actually cleared it in every game but one, I believe, as a Panther. So I do like Giroux here. Yeah, there's a lot of action here on this game. I like the puck line, minus 145 on DraftKings. I'm going to pair that up with the Hurricanes puck line. I'm going to drop a couple units on both of those. But Giroux, 4 shots, 5 shots, 0 and 3. He's got 5 assists in his 4 games. What is he tonight? He's probably not plus money anymore to have an assist because like that fun is just that's probably over with. Just let me double check. Giroux assists. He is. He's plus 100 for an assist. Like I'll put him on the board with Bergeron for an assist here tonight. One thing I want to say is Sam Bennett. Man, his splits, I was looking into them the other day, are extremely real. He's played 28 games, Eric, on the road. He's got 6 goals and 10 points in 28 games. That's like Calgary Flames numbers for him. He's played 28 home games. He has 20 goals and 31 points. He's well over a point per game on home ice and not even close to half a point per game on the road. So 20 goals in 28 games. I kind of like him to find the back of the net as well. A shout out to Jonathan Huberdeau, who, if he gets an assist tonight, will hold the all-time record for the most assists in a season by a left winger. I believe he's tied with Joey Juneau, former Bruin and former Hab. I met Joey Juneau once before. George will like this story. It wasn't Labatt's. It was Molson Canadiens. I was at the Habs game. I think it was 96. I was 11 years old. And all the guys were coming over for autographs. And it was under the Bell Center in the back end there. And Joey Juneau was just a straight boss. He came over with 2 2-4s of Canadiens. And, like, he was ready to party that night. And it was fantastic. Awesome. I remember him dropping the beer down in front of me as a kid, signing a hat. And I remember my dad's friend was like, Joey, getting on the Molsons tonight? And he just leaned over, and little smile on his face. And you knew he was going to have a great night. It was awesome. Yeah, not Labatt's, but Molson Canadiens. So there's a lot of different ways to go here. You are going Giroux. We're both going Giroux. I like Bennett too, guys. I like Bennett.
Yeah. I thought about Bennett too. He's due, man. Such a good player, man. Such a cool story, him ending up there and becoming the player. He was on Spin Chicklets the other day, and it's like the famous thing of him like at the combine and he couldn't do a single pull-up, like a professional athlete. Like it's crazy. But he had a rotator cuff injury, and he just I was pulling for all I was worth. I just couldn't do one. And like, of course, he's like, it's no big deal. And then, of course, the next day on the Toronto Sun, there was a picture of him as a child, and the front page saying Sam Bennett, top prospect, was supposed to go number 1 or was being talked about as number 1. He dropped down, I think, to 4th or whatever. But still, it's got to be pretty embarrassing for a guy.
Yeah, it was a tough go. I do remember that. All right, so Giroux 2.5 shots, Bennett 2.5 shots. I like both of those guys to find the back of the net. I like Giroux to have an assist. I think Verhaeghe's in play for a point. There's a lot of different ways you can go here. A 2-point night for Huberdeau. Don't hate it either. I think there's a lot of fun that you can have in this game. And proceed with caution if you want with those 7 goals. Wouldn't be shocked if we saw like a 5-3 Florida win here today and you get over that number. The Islanders and Columbus in here next. So Troy will be at this game. It is happening in New York. So we have some live odds here. Just let me double check using that parlay calculator. Minus 190 for the Islanders today. Troy, I think Troy is a Blue Jackets fan. I'm pretty sure he
think so.
Labatt and Molson not exist on Long Island. I've never seen in my life. Probably not. This is Canadian beers. Oh,
Yep.
Probably, yeah. Evan, once you go Labatt, you'll never go back. Interesting. Is that a real take from you? Okay. It's not my fave. It's not bad. It's all right.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's not my go-to for beer league puck. It's definitely not. Okay. Troy is a Columbus fan here, I do believe. He's always talking up Werenski, who's not playing. But he's always talking up Line A. Are we going to back the Blue Jackets here for him? Blue Jackets fans stuck on Long Island. Okay, well, good. Enjoy this game tonight. It should be entertaining. What do you think? You think the Blue Jackets got a shot here tonight?
I mean, they've been pesky. Like, how many times have we said that? I mean, they have won some games that I don't think they should have. When they get decent goaltending from Elvis, they hang around in games. The problem is he can't play every game, and Korpisalo is non-existent as far as being any good as an NHL goalie. Line he's so fun to watch, and like the interviews, I don't know if you saw the thing. Oh, you're shooting for a rebound. He's like, I don't shoot for rebounds. Such an amazing thing to say. Like,
I love how much swag he has. Yeah, I
just wish when you have hair like that and you look like that, he's an ugly dude. You better have swag. You better have something. He's a monstrous looking human being, but he's an unbelievable hockey player. Unbelievable. Like, maybe the best shot. I mean, other than Matthews, I can't think of a person. Yeah. I mean, of course, Ovechkin, but just when he leans on it, man, the puck comes off his stick just so different. It's insane.
The days of even money for a point for Brock Nelson seem to be gone. He's plus 100 for 2.5 shots. I like that one quite a bit. I like this run, man. Like, we talk so much about it doesn't feel like it's chasing like other sports. I know, like, when in football, it's really matchup dependent. I think in baseball certainly as well with a pitcher, like, things can change from a day-to-day basis. But man, in hockey, there's just guys are just streaky. They just, sometimes when they're in slumps, you even hear players, I'm holding my stick a little tight. I'm hesitant to shoot the puck. But when guys are just like feeling it, I just think it's. I mean, what did we do with Lindholm when he scored 7 nights in a row? I think we hit 5 of those 7. With Brock Nelson, he's checking in here with goals in 4 straight games. He's got 5 goals over that span. He's cleared 2.5 shots in 3 of the 4. He had a hat trick March 19th. He's up to 32 goals. We just talked about this on Tuesday. And what did we do? We bet him to score, and he scored. I like him again, man. He had a 2-point night against the Blue Jackets. I think he scores. He's got 4 assists in his last 5 games. He's plus 185 for an assist. I think the words that we actually said was, we will get a Brock Nelson goal, and it'll be assisted by Anders Lee. And that's exactly what happened. Anders Lee is plus 195 for an apple and minus 141 for a point. I think both of these guys hit the score sheet tonight. You agree?
Yeah. The thing is, you were talking about like momentum and stuff like that. Like with football, like it is chasing because they don't play every day, right? It's a week in between. Like they've slept 6 or 7 different nights. They've had different workouts. They've had different training, like, whatever. With hockey, it's like when players are feeling it, you need to ride those things. And when they're cold, you need to step away. That's to me, it's one of the biggest keys in winning season-long fantasy is knowing when you gotta, there's players that are stars. Like, if you have Austin Matthews, for example, like, the price you paid to get him and who he is as a player, you're not going to drop him when he doesn't score for 2 or 3 games. But a middle of the road guy, like someone like Nelson or someone like Even Lee in a smaller league, like those guys, when they're on, you need to pick them up and put them in your lineup every single night. And when they're off, you drop them and replace them with someone else that's going. So I love Nelson's run right now. He's a good player. I've always liked him and Anders Lee. Yeah, if I was going to pick somebody, it would be him to score. But like you said, they've caught up on the odds, right? Like he's scoring every night. So yeah, I would avoid betting goal scorers in that game at all. Actually, if I was going to bet, I would probably bet on Line A, but I imagine his odds aren't great either.
Yeah, maybe we bet Lee. I think Nelson is fine to be. Line is the type of thing I see in my nightmares. Man, night terrors, dude. You don't want those. They're not fun. Nelson is one of those guys I think that you could potentially put into a larger parlay with like a Pasternak or a Matthews type deal. But maybe we do Anders Lee tonight. Anders Lee's plus money for a goal. Maybe he's the guy that we're after. Troy, have some fun, obviously, with the Blue Jackets tonight. I think you're in on Bjorkstrand. I don't mind that. Maybe the Bjorkstrand shots. I think, he has been buzzing. He's been shooting the puck.
Yeah.
We like him. Eli and I are big Bjorkstrand fans. We talked to him up a lot a couple years ago in his breakout season when we were at the Athletic. Patrick Laine is minus 162 for 3 shots. It's a bit much, but again, you can put him in a parlay, minus 145 for a point. It's okay. For him to score is plus 145. I think that's all right as well. But just to get Bjorkstrand here, minus 120 for 3 shots is okay. But if you want to have some fun with some goals, I think plus 250 for any time Bjorkstrand goal, I think is a pretty good call. All right. I don't know. I'm rooting for you, Troy. I think the Blue Jackets could potentially win this game. I definitely won't put my money down on the Islanders minus 190. Like, that's not for me. I won't do that either. All right, next game in here, we got the Carolina Hurricanes and the Montreal Canadiens. The Hurricanes are massive, massive favorites here. 425. Minus 425 over at DK. Minus 420 for my ganja smokers out there. The Habs you can get at plus 330. And the total in this game is 6 in most spots. You can get 6.5 over at FanDuel plus money. I don't know, man. Habs hang around, but ultimately the Hurricanes just dominate control. They
oh God, it's crazy.
So puck possession is off the charts with them. Jake Allen's going to see 40 plus shots. The Habs are so depleted on the blue line. The house on Montreal. It's, Montreal money line. Here we go. Evan, Montreal always sneaky underdogs. Yeah, they were plus money closer to puck drop the other day, not to lose by 3 goals. And the game was 4-4 heading into the third period, and then they just collapsed. Like, the Habs are pesky, guys. They're sneaky. They're playing good hockey. They got a winning record with Martin St. Louis. They're scoring goals. Overall, they're dead last in the NHL in goals for per game. But over the last month, they're kind of in the middle of the pack. They have been scoring some goals. But just like, what are we doing here? I don't know. You want to throw a couple bucks in the Habs to win the upset, go ahead. But ultimately, sure. I think that Carolina wins this game by a couple goals. And you could sweat it out in the third period, but what we said about Montreal and Florida on Tuesday, it's the same sort of deal. Like, when the game is tight in the third, Carolina will just take over. The empty net is always going to be in play. St. Louis has been pulling goalies with about 4 or 5 minutes left, down by a goal, down by 2. So, like, we could get puck line there. I just think the Habs, what the issue is defensively, man. Like, they traded Chirot. Petrie's hurt now. They're playing kids. Justin Barron is a young buck that they're playing. They're giving him heavy minutes. I love Alexander Romanov. I'm seeing I'm really seeing a guy develop right in front of my eyes. He played 28 minutes the other night.
They need to play. They're doing everything right with developing their younger guys. But they're not going to beat Carolina.
No, Carolina puck line
tonight. If I was to bet, I got Teravainen playing important minutes. I mean, kind of like the unsung guy here. And DraftKings has got him at plus 215 to score. I mean, he plays on the top line and the top power play. I love that at 215. He's been sneaky, had a very sneaky, very, very good season. And somebody that, I mean, I didn't realize it until I think last week, but Seth Jarvis is playing on the top line and playing power play. He's plus 270. Like, with a team like this against Montreal that, are not good at defending, give up a ton of rubber, and the goaltending is suspect at best, even with Jake Allen, that's the two I would put some cash on to score tonight.
Yeah, Carolina does this all the time with their lines, but now they got Domi on that second line with Trocheck and Svechnikov. They got Natchez on that fourth line. We love Natchez so much. This dude's playing on the fourth line. Seth Jarvis on that top line. I was looking at TiVo as well. He hasn't scored since March 6th. He's now entering on a 5-game point streak, so he's starting to heat up a little bit. I do like the call. Svesh is kind of my guy. I really like Sveshnikov. I'm not breaking any news here. We all know that he's really good. He's at 25 goals. We got him in the bet tracker. We had him over 22 goals. I don't know why his season-long goal prop was at 22.5, but we got that one a couple weeks ago, actually. So I like Sveshnikov. I think there's a lot of different ways you can go here, guys, with the Hurricanes. Like, they're going to put up 40-plus shots tonight against the Habs. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Jake Allen will have to he's going to see a lot of rubber here tonight. So let's see. Svesh, you can get at 2.5. Maybe you put him into a parlay. I like Cole Caulfield still. He's been hitting 2.5. Decent price for Cole. He's still getting like 3 or 4 quality, like grade A scoring chances. And he's been the trigger man on that power play, him or Suzuki. So 2.5 shots, I think, is in play for him. Aho, 2.5. Teravainen, 2.5. All of these guys, I think, are absolutely in play. And Brett Pesce has now moved up to 2.5 plus 135. So that was fun while it lasted, the 1.5. And one more I will throw it at you. I know I'm throwing a lot, but I think these are strong single play bets because the Canadiens guys give up a lot of rubber. Vincent Trocheck is like the long shot prop guy here tonight at plus 140 for 2.5 shots. But I will put down on the board Svesh. I like the call by you with TiVo. And one more thing I wanted to get before we move on here is assists, because we'll probably get some plus money for some guys here. Svesh is plus 120 for an apple. Yes, car alarms. Aho's even money, and Teravainen's minus 135. It's not as good as I thought. I think we see some goals. Bet the house on Montreal. Don't do it. All right, this should be a good one. Pittsburgh and Minnesota. We got the Wild here on home ice, minus 115. We have the Penguins you can get at plus 104, plus 100 over at DraftKings. And we have a total here of 6. You can get the under 6, I see, at plus money. 6.5 over at FanDuel, BetMGM. Yeah, you can get the over plus money too if you wanted 6.5. What do you make of this matchup? It looks like some money's coming in on the Pens.
Minnesota Wild has been on a roll. There was a slide for them, a definite slide. But I think that I was reading a thing this morning that they've won. Is it 9 or maybe 10 of their last 12
seven
games?
Straight? They've won 7 straight and 8 of 10. Yeah,
8 of 10. Like that's, when they that's part of that is they weren't even getting goaltending. They traded away Kakinen. Now they've got Fleury there. Talbot had an unbelievable outing the other night, and Pittsburgh is the complete opposite of this. They were one of those teams where I kind of refused to bet against them at the start of the year. They were just winning all the time. They're on a bit of a slide. Jari has not been the same. The production has not been there from their top guys. Like they're depending on guys like Brian Boyle and Evan Rodriguez to score goals, and they're just not doing it. If I was to bet, I would bet Minnesota to win tonight. I put maybe Crosby anytime he's going to be over. If he's plus odds, most of the time I would say go for it. But he's almost 200. He's plus 175, so I put him to score. Kaprizov and Fiala to score tonight.
Yeah, those are my guys too. Kaprizov I got him on my list. He's got goals in 4 straight, 5 over that span. Man, he's just
plus 140 too. I
don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and points in 5 straight. I mean, just go back and it's easier to count the games that he doesn't have points. I mean, I'm looking at he's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, he's got points in 7 of those 9 or 9 of those 11 rather. I mean, he's really been shooting at least 4 shots in 4 straight games and 6 of 7. He's been awesome, man. He's taken over here today. He's just having a great season anyways, but he's just really kind of stepped it up over this run. He's been really good. And we mentioned this with the Wild, why we like the Wild on the puck line. We nailed that one against the Flyers. So the Wild, we talked about, they've won 7 straight. All of those games have been at home. This is the final game of an 8-game homestand. Actually, they had 1 loss against your Preds to start it off, but it's a lengthy homestand where they've been very, very successful. I would imagine Fleury goes tonight. I know that Cam Talbot has played pretty good.
Yes.
He was good before the trade, and he was really good after the trade. I know he had a couple starts in the row. They have been going Fleury, Talbot, Fleury. Do they go back to Talbot here? Do they go Fleury against his former squad? Fleury's been really good in the 2 games with the Wild as well. He's only allowed 3 goals. I like Minnesota too. I'm in on the Wild. Crosby's been awesome as well, though, man. Like you're going to take the anytime goal. I'm in on the anytime goal, and I think he probably has 3 shots. I like his 2.5 shots tonight as well. I do believe they got rest back on that top line, which I think is good for Sid the Kid. But Crosby is on a heck of a run as well. 4 points in his last 2 games. He's got 4 multi-point games over the last 7 contests, and he's got goals in 3 of his last 4 as well. He's up to 25 goals on the season. So like Kaprizov, like Sid the Kid, like the Fiala call as well. Nate Olson's in the house. Kaprizov to score plus 140. Needs 1 point for the record. He's going to bury it. I like that as well. Minnesota's single season point record currently held by Marian Gaborik. Gaborik was one of my faves. I think he's still under contract somewhere as well. I think, is it Arizona's paying Gaborik's contract? I don't know. Somewhere. All right. We like the Wild tonight. Sharks and Avs, another team that's just heavy favorites here. Minus 333. I'm seeing DraftKings has them at minus 370. The Sharks checking at plus 285. The Sharks played last night and they lost to Zona. And we have the total here at 6.5. I don't know, man. We got to call an upset somewhere, but I just don't see the Sharks winning this one.
Yeah, I'm not betting on the Sharks to beat the Avalanche. That's for sure. I think Avalanche win this. I think they handle it pretty well. I think the Kakin is going to get his first start tonight. He was not good in Minnesota. I think he's going to probably be even worse in San Jose. They just have a tough time defending. A couple interesting players. Timo Meier is actually having a really good season. Logan Couture, when he's healthy, has been pretty good. But Colorado is unreal, even with no McKinnon. That's why I'm going Kadri's at plus 155 to score. He's centering that top line tonight. I would go him. Burakovsky is plus 230. He's playing important minutes, power play time, and on the second line. And I'd go with my boy, the clean master. I call him Nichushkin.
Oh, Nichushkin.
He's at plus 190. So the books are starting to catch on, man. He's playing some important minutes and is been playing well the last couple of weeks. So that would be the 3 that I would pick to score tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, how could you not go with Kadri? I mean, from a shot prop standpoint too, just the fact that he's centering that line. He's 6 shots in the game against the Flames the other night. 21-45 was the most he played in a handful of games. So I mean, he's having a really good season. He's slowed down a little bit, but the points have been there over the last week and a half or so. You get plus money at 3.5 shots. I love the Nichushkin call as well. I'm not seeing his shot prop. That may surface, guys. It has closer to puck drop. I have seen Nichushkin in some books at 2.5 shots. This guy's cleared 2.5 shots in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his last 8 games. So not only is he scoring up to 19 goals, 2 goals the other night against the Flames, 2 goals against the Sharks when they played in San Jose, and he had 4 shots. He's getting just a lot of opportunity, to your point, Eric. 20 minutes. He's played at least 20 minutes in 8 straight hockey games, and a couple of those games he went up in the 24-minute mark. So a lot of ice time, playing with a lot of confidence. He is minus 169 for a point. It's not great as a single, but maybe put that into a parlay. Yeah, you can get plus 190 over at DK, like you said. I would imagine FanDuel Sportsbook has him around plus 210, plus 220 for an anytime goal here today. McKinnon's back already? What? I know I saw him skating yesterday. I mean, I believe you, Adam, but that's super weird. They said 2 days ago that he was going to be out for an extended period of time, but
yeah, I did see a video of him practicing. People were saying, "Oh, his hand's broken." The way he was handling the puck, I can guarantee you his hand is not broken.
Wow, he is scheduled to return. What the heck?
Is he really?
So weird, these reports. Yeah. He is rescheduled to return tonight, which is super weird because they just said the other day that they were extended. It was Jared Bednar. Bednar said he was extremely worried that it could be a lengthy injury. But okay, he's back. It doesn't change how I feel about Nichushkin. It does a little bit how I feel about Kadri. I'm not in on the 3.5 shots anymore. But I am in on like a 2-point night from Nate. I like Rantanen as well, but Nichushkin's going to have that top spot on that. On that top line, nothing's going to change with him. And his price has jumped up a little bit on DK, but 5.2 I think is still affordable. All right, 2 more games here to get to. Calgary and LA. LA hung around. I thought they outplayed the Oilers last night. They had like 2 goals in like a 30-second span to get them back into that game, and they ended up losing in a shootout. But man, they hit a couple posts last night, and I thought that they were the better team. But now they got the second half of the back-to-back, and they got to go into Calgary and play the Flames. Minus 294 here for Calgary, and plus 250 for LA, and the total is at 6. You and I we both like this LA squad.
Yeah.
Last night was great in the bet tracker. We got Arvidsson plus money. We had Kempe plus money. We also had Draisaitl in that game plus money. We did not get Hyman. I still think I'd like guys like Arvidsson and Kempe. You can probably get at plus money, but a really tough spot here against the Flames. I don't know, man. This is another one. Like, we're not getting all these heavy favorites, but there's no way I'm betting against Calgary.
No way. Yeah, no way.
What do you got for goals?
Calgary wins. I'm gonna put Goudreau in to score probably, and someone else I'm interested in to score. He's having a career year and he's shooting the puck like a damn lunatic. Is that Adrian Kempe playing on that top line?
You really
anyone that plays with Kopitar, sign me up. He and the fact that he's plus 265. So that I think there's. I'm not saying I'm 100% convinced he could score, but the chances of him scoring are good because of how often he shoots and who he plays with, and the odds are 265. So if I was going to pick somebody on LA, that's who I'd pick.
Yeah, that'd be the guy for me too. He really stood out last night. He was phenomenal. I think he hit a bar too. I believe he finished with like 7 or 8 shots. He was really, really good. I like the 2.5 shots from him. Matthew Tkachuk is my guy for Calgary. There's a lot of different ways that you can go. Clearly, Lindholm is having a phenomenal season too. Johnny Gaudreau is just setting up those guys left, right, and center. I also like Toffoli. I know he went quiet for a little bit, but he showed up in the last game. You got the little revenge narrative, which is always fun. But he had 3 shots and a goal in 1944 he played in his last game, which I do believe was the most he's played as a Flame yet to date. 1944. He's been living in that 15, 16-minute range. And he is getting dropped in fantasy leagues, but he does have points in 2 straight. And that was the first goal in quite some time that he scored last night. So I think he's a pretty good long shot as well. All right, keeping it moving here. Dallas and Anaheim. We did get the Stars the other night. This is, the second straight time these guys are going to play together in Anaheim. So Dallas was able to come back. I was sweating it out big time. They came back and tied it late, and then they won in overtime. It's tough to beat a team like right away, kind of back to back. Said that in the Discord yesterday with the Blues beating the Canucks. Like the Canucks beat the Blues, and the return home, and St. Louis kind of got the revenge on them. But what we've said about the Ducks, man, they're just not the same team that they were at the start of the season. They're not getting the same goaltending. There's a desperation factor when it comes to Dallas. It's tough to kind of lay this at minus 170. They do play a lot of tight games. They're near the bottom in offense on the road, so it's tough to get behind them to win in 60 as well. But that's kind of where I would go. Maybe Dallas to win in 60 or just to include them in a parlay. And it's just that top line for me in Dallas. Roope Hintz is on a heater, and my guy Jason Robertson is cooled off a little bit. I'm seeing him fumbling the puck. Maybe he's gripping that stick a little tight, but Roope Hintz has had at least 3 shots in 3 of his past 4, 5 of his past 7. He's found the back of the net in 4 of his last 5 games, and he has 6 goals over that span. So Hintz is my guy tonight. I think he gets the 3 shots, and I'll ride that out with him to find the back of the net. Where are you at?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Hintz was kind of the only person I kind of felt good with there. Like there's tons of guys that could score here. Anaheim, they're on a slide for sure. They traded away a bunch of their good players, but they're in a really good spot going forward. They're not going to make the playoffs, but with all these young players, young guys on D, young guys on forward, Gibson, I think, he's definitely not in his prime anymore, but still a very, very good goalie. And Dallas needs to win this game. My gut is telling me that Anaheim is going to win this tonight.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. There's the upset then, maybe.
If I was going to pick one, that's the one I would pick. I'm not sure about any other underdog. If I was going to pick one underdog to win, it'd be Anaheim.
Yeah, I don't hate it, honestly.
The pressure's on Dallas, right? All the pressure. And what, sometimes when that happens, and the reality is that top line is not playing like it was. They're still great, you mean? But when they're not scoring, Dallas can't win games because nobody else on that team can score. Anaheim is relaxed. They're loose. They're young. There's no pressure on them to win this game, and I think they come out and win it.
I like it. I mean, I'm probably won't have too much exposure to Dallas tonight. Definitely not from a DFS standpoint. I don't really like to bet on them unless they're on home ice. I definitely don't love to bet minus 170 on the road. So just to kind of recap, we'll let you take it away. Also, we'll give some DFS thoughts here on the way out as well. So you got your notepad. What got there?
So got Boston to win. I would go Hughes there. That would be the only person I would bet. The odds aren't good enough on people in Boston who I think will probably score, but I just stay away from it. Carolina to win, Terrifying and Jarvis. No scores for me on the Islanders game, but I think that Columbus, our boy Troy, just a complete gambling hockey game lunatic. I hope he has his yellow pad with him at the game tonight, sitting in the stands, making some notes. So go Columbus on that. I could care less who wins that. I got Toronto to win, Marner and Mikheyev to score. Florida to win, Huberdeau and Giroux to score. Minnie to win, Fiala, Kaprizov, and Crosby to score. Calgary, Johnny Hockey, and Kempe on the LA side. Calgary to win that. Avs to win, Kadri and Burakovsky. I don't feel as good about the Kadri now. Like you said, like McKinnon will be back on that top line. But look, Kadri, with those odds, he's been having an unbelievable year. I think I would still put, a little bit on him to score, and Nichushkin as well. Anaheim to win.
All right. Anaheim to win. I like it. I got the over in Boston and New Jersey, 6.5. I like the Bruins to win in 60. I like the Leafs to win in 60. I got the Panthers in Carolina. I know that's pretty chalky, but I got the Panthers in Carolina puck line. Just want to see what that pays out. I did it last night. I just want to see how crazy the odds have changed. So you got Carolina, Florida. Man, the odds are changing. Like 2.5, you can get these guys. So if you pick them both to win on the puck line, 181. So it's changed quite a bit. Like last night, $100. You had a return of over, I think it was over 200. So you're just shy of 200 now as a return, but I think that's okay. I just feel like Florida and Carolina is going to score some goals here. Minnesota on home ice with you as well. Colorado puck line. I think they probably win by a couple here. I'm kind of feeling that Ducks upset. I'll probably stay away from the Calgary game. I just don't want to lay that kind of juice. But I kind of have a lean to some goals in that one. The Kings can score a couple themselves, and I think Calgary can get a couple there as well. So it does feel like a pretty chalky night. You know what? I'm going with the Blue Jackets, Troy. Blue Jackets get it done tonight. That's going to be the upset for me.
Let's go.
You're going to be in attendance. You're going to get a couple from Bjorkstrand. I think Columbus is the team that potential upset here this evening. From an assist prop standpoint, there were some guys that stood out. Like I said, Giroux's plus money, Lee's plus money, Bergeron's plus money, some goal scorers. I like Giroux, but I also like Bennett just because of those home splits. They've been for real, but I think Giroux may be the guy tonight to break out. Anders Lee, I got him for the assist, but I think, he finds the back of the net as well. I know Svechnikov's been hit or miss, guys. I think I saw that comment there from somebody, but the Habs just give up so much rubber. Svechnikov, Teuvo Teravainen, I think those are pretty good calls. Rupe Hintz, Kaprizov, Nichushkin, these guys all to find the back of the net, and I do like Mitch Marner and Matthew Tkachuk. From a shot prop standpoint, Hintz, Kempe, Matthew Tkachuk, Kaprizov, Cole Caulfield, Brock Nelson's plus money 2.5. Bennett's at a good price 2.5. Giroux's at a good price 2.5. Pierre-Luc Dubois, Marchand 2.5. Not a great price, but you can put him in some parlays. Jack Hughes is really shooting. I know the Bruins are stingy, but he's really shooting. So I will probably go back to him and Jesper Bratt, and like I said in that same game, Marchand. Just on the way out here, I think if you want some longer shots, I kind of feel Jake DeBrusk too. Like he's got goals in back-to-back. We got away from him. He was quiet again. I think he's a really good price on DraftKings at 3.5. I think Giroux's a good price on DraftKings at 5.3. Ilya Mikheyev, we've been talking him up for a couple days now. He's 3.6. Get an opportunity to play on that second line with Tavares, and he has been shooting. Seth Jarvis, I think, is a pretty good call that you brought up on that top line in Carolina. He's 2.7. So there's a lot of value on the board. Guys like the Panthers, the Hurricanes are going to be pretty chalky tonight in terms of DFS. But I think it's warranted chalk, especially Florida. Carolina I wouldn't be shocked if Carolina had like 50 shots tonight and maybe they win 2-0 or something. Jake Allen holds their own, but I would be shocked if the Florida Panthers don't get 4 or 5 goals here tonight against the Blackhawks. So I think it's pretty good chalk. You eat a little bit of that and you go elsewhere. All right, Troy, enjoy the game. Mike, Columbus. Yeah, we're all on it today. Bandwagon for us today with the Blue Jackets. We do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Right around the hour mark. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend if you guys can. That would help us out. And we do have some surprises next week here on Dangle, Bet, Celly. So good luck tonight. Have a great weekend. And EY, enjoy. Set the alarms. Stay up late. Drink some pops. And that's it. We'll talk to you guys later. Cheers.